All right, so Karen, talk to me about the backstory, like how we got here today and when you were introduced to Senator Sabatino and heard about this bill.
Okay, well, I pretty much had enough of having to go back to the parole board and testifying against my attacker. The parole board would order my attacker to serve his maximum sentence, and under current PA law, he's able to apply for parole every single year, regardless of what the parole board orders. So it's just torturing, you know, it tortures the victims. It makes it as though the crime never ends. It's just a constant, torment. So I had enough, and my husband actually came up with the idea to try to change the law, to try to fix the loopholes that we're facing. So my mom actually contacted our state senator, John Sabatino, and he was wonderful from the beginning. I mean, he just was on board. I think it might be because he had a little bit of a background, or a lot of a background, I should say, of being a former DA, and his work there. I think that kind of made him more sympathetic to our plight, and yeah, so that's how that got pretty much started. And we just started it kind of last year or so.
And so what would it mean to you if this gets passed and the extension for parole is from 1 year to 3 years? What would that mean to you as a survivor?
Just some breathing space, you know what I mean? Just to kind of collect yourself, because these parole processes are so grueling, they're horrific, and sometimes to a lot of the victims, it feels almost worse than the actual crime itself, because you're bringing it all back again. We suffer from PTSD, we suffer from all the trauma that we've been put through, and then to bring it back on us and then have to fear our attackers getting out of prison, it's horrible. It's an ongoing cycle that just does not end. So to have that 3 years, at least it'll give us some time to actually breathe in between parole processes.
So not only do you have to prepare for these parole hearings, but then you also have the fear of what if they are granted parole?
Yeah. Absolutely, yes. And every time that my attacker was up for parole, he was deemed to be a high risk to society and a danger to myself as well. So it's not like he's doing, so yeah, I'm very fearful.
And so what are next steps in your eyes? How do we get this thing passed?
Well, right now we're waiting for Senator Greenleaf to get it on to a vote for the Senate Judiciary, and then after that, hopefully, we'll move on from there. But for right now, we're currently awaiting a vote for the Senate Judiciary Committee.
And do you have other events like this planned, or what are some things that other Pennsylvanians can do that support your mission? Like, how can we support you moving forward?
We're asking everybody to call their local state senators and ask them to co-sponsor the bill, or contact Senator Greenleaf and ask him to take it into consideration for a vote.
Well, thank you for sharing your story, and best of